Hello friends, welcome to the channel UPSC Ranker. So today we are going to discuss about the most probable prelims questions 2020 for UPSC aspirants. Now let us get into the question. Question number 1. Global Network Against Food Crisis is launched by which among the following? 1. Food and Agricultural Organization. 2. World Food Program. 3. International Food Policy Research Institute. 4. European Union. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Option A 2 and 3 only. Option B 1, 3 and 4 only. Option C 2, 3 and 4 only. Option D 1, 2 and 4 only. So the correct answer for this question is option D 1, 2 and 4 only. Now let us get into the explanation. So learning zone. The Global Network Against Food Crisis was launched by the European Union Food Agricultural Organization World Food Programme during the 2016 World Humanitarian Summit to respond to the World Humanitarian Summit's call for new approaches to tackle protracted crises and recurrent disasters, reduce vulnerability, and manage risk by bridging the divide between development and humanitarian partners. Why is this question important? A new edition of this global report on food crisis has been released by the Global Network Against Food Crisis. The report reveals scope of food crisis as COVID-19 poses new risk to vulnerable countries. Now let us get into the question number 2. Sujalam Sufalam Jala Sanchay Abhiyan, often seen in the news, is a scheme initiated by which state? A. Maharashtra. B. Gujarat. C. Uttar Pradesh. D. West Bengal. So the answer for this question is B. Gujarat. So let us get into the explanation of this question. So learning zone. The scheme was started in 2018 after a weak monsoon. Until date, the state's water storage capacity has increased by 23,000 lakh cubic feet due to deepening of lakes, check dams, rivers and reservoirs. The scheme, which will continue till June 10, will see the deepening of lakes, check dams and rivers by removing silt, and it will be done with people's participation as well as under MNREGA. It would create employment opportunities for the rural population amid the lockdown, adding that norms in place to combat the coronavirus outbreak will be adhered to while carrying out works under the scheme. Why is this question important? Gujarat CM has given the green signal for the third edition of his government's Sujalam Sufalam Jala Sanchay Abhiyan, a conservation plan to deepen water bodies in the state before the onset of monsoon. So now let us get into the question number 3. With reference to the biomedical waste management rules 2016, consider the following statements. Guys, this kind of question is already asked in the prelims 2019 exams. So it's very important. So now get into the options. It calls for phase out the use of chlorinated plastic bags, gloves and blood bags within 2 years. It seeks to provide training to all its healthcare workers and immunize all healthcare workers regularly. As option 3, as per the rules, state governments shall provide land for setting up common biomedical waste treatment and disposal facility. Which of the following above statement is the correct? Option A 1 and 2, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, option D 1, 2, 3 only. So the correct answer for this question is option D 1, 2 and 3. Let us get into the explanation. Learning zone. Salient features of biomedical waste management rules 2016. Ambit of the rules has been expanded to include vaccination camps, blood donation camps, surgical camps or any other healthcare activity. It calls for phase out the use of chlorinated plastic bags, gloves and blood bags within 2 years. It calls for pre-treatment of the laboratory waste, microbiological waste, blood samples and blood bags through disinfection or sterilization on site. It seeks to provide training to all its healthcare workers and immunize all health workers regularly. Why is this question important? The National Green Tribunal has urged the State Pollution Control Board and Pollution Control Committee to put in serious efforts to mitigate possible risk of unscientific disposal of the biomedical waste arising out of the handling of the COVID-19 disease. So now let us get into the question number 4. With reference to the International Fund for Agricultural Development, consider the following statements. Option first statement is it is a specialized agencies of the United Nations. Statement number 2, it works focused on the rural areas of developing countries. Which of the following statements is correct? Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, option D neither 1 nor 2. So the correct statements are option C both 1 and 2. Now let us get into the explanation. Learning Zone. The International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD) is an international financial institution and a specialized agency of the United Nations that works to address poverty and hunger in rural areas of developing countries. Why is this question important? Given the magnitude of the challenge presented by the COVID-19 crisis, International Fund for Agricultural Development has launched a multi-donor COVID-19 Rural Poor Stimulus Facility (RPSF). Now get into the question number 5. With reference to the new development bank, consider the following statements. Statement number 1. It is a multilateral development bank operated by the BRICS state. It was established in 2014 at the 6th BRICS Summit at Fortaleza, Brazil. The bank will be headquartered in Shanghai, China. Which of the following statement is correct? Option A 1 and 2, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 3 only, option 4 1 2 and 3. So the correct statement for this question is option D 1 2 and 3. Now let us get into the explanation. Learning Zone. It is a multilateral development bank operated by BRICS states, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. New development bank was agreed by BRICS leaders at 5th BRICS Summit held in Durban, South Africa in 2013. It was established in 2014 at 6th BRICS Summit at Fortaleza, Brazil. The bank is set up to foster greater financial and development cooperation among 5 emerging markets. In the Fortaleza Declaration, leaders stressed that the new development bank will strengthen cooperation among BRICS and will supplement the efforts of multilateral and regional financial institutions for global development. The bank will be headquartered in Shanghai, China. Why is this question important? Finance Minister of India recently attended the 5th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the new development bank through video conference. Now let us get into the question number 6. Milk tea aliens, sometimes seen in the news, is related to aliens of internet users from Thailand, Taiwan and Hong Kong, aliens of tea and milk producing states from Southeast Asia, non-permanent members of UNSC, protest group against Brexit in the UK. So the correct answer for this question is option A, aliens of internet users from Thailand, Taiwan and Hong Kong. Now let us get into the explanation. Learning Zone. It is a pro-democratic front formed by thousands of internet users from Thailand, Taiwan and Hong Kong in social networks against authoritarianism of Chinese government and its supporters. The informal movement began by defending itself against the insults of pro-Chinese Twitter users against Thailand. It has now ended up forming a social network group to combat Chinese propaganda. Why is this question important? It is recently seen in the news. Now let us get into the question number 7. Feluda test recently seen in the news is related to option A, COVID-19 detection, option B, water quality, option C, kidney failure, option D, nuclear weapons. So the correct answer for this question is option A, COVID-19 detection. So now let us get into the explanation. So learning zone. The Faluda is a paper strip test that detects coronavirus in an hour. Faluda is an acronym for FNCA S9 editor linked uniform detection. It is expected to help to fulfill an urgent need of the rapid testing in India. Why is this question important? Recently, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology has developed India's first paper strip test for COVID-19, namely Feluda. Now, let us get into the question number 8. Education for Justice initiative, recently seen in the news, is launched by A. UNESCO, B. Pratham International, C. Ministry of Human Resource Development, D. United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. So the correct answer for this question is option D, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. Now let us get into the explanation of this question. Learning Zone. The Education for Justice initiative was launched by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes to teach next generation about crime prevention and address problems under law. The initiative seeks to prevent crime and promote a culture of lawfulness through education activities designed for primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. Why is this question important? The Education for Justice initiative is under the global program for the implementation of Doha Declaration. Now let us get into the question number 9. With reference to Khudai Khidmatgar movement, consider the following statement. It was a violent movement against British. It was led by Abdul Ghaffar Khan. The movement formally joined the Indian National Congress in its later phase. Which of the following statement is correct? Option A 1 and 2 only. Option B 2 and 3 only. Option C 1 and 4 only. Option D 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer for this question is option B 2 and 3 only. Now let us get into the explanation of this question. Learning Zone. The Khudai Khidmatgar was a non-violent movement against British occupation of the Indian subcontinent. So hence the statement 1 was incorrect. It was led by Abdul Ghaffar Khan, a Pashtun freedom fighter in the northwest province. Statement 2 is correct. Over time, the movement acquired a more political color, leading to British taking notice of its growing prominence in the region. Following the arrest of Khan and other leaders in 1929, the movement formally joined the Indian National Congress after they failed to receive support from the All India Muslim League. And statement 3 is correct. So why is this question important? It's 90 years for Peshawar's Qissa Kwani Bazar massacre. The massacre was perpetrated by British soldiers against non-violent protesters of the Khudai Khidmatgar movement on April 23, 1930. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe.